what are my tips for the best inspect and adapt event? And these are the 4 areas that I would say, right? If you had a cheat sheet to take away, how do you make it more exciting? Make your system demo more exciting. I love this from the Forbes Technology Council. The best system demos, and I've witnessed this, are the ones where you have the actual customer or end user browse through the product updates, right? You're helping them navigate, but they have the hands on the keyboard. They have their hands on the mouse. They're experiencing it, right? Real time. I've seen this done in a roadshow kind of effect, right? We actually walk the users through it and let them hands on, just like you test drive a car before you buy it, right? You want to have the hands on and allow them to do that. Do you hear oohs and ahs when people present things? Do teams applaud each other and get applause from other stakeholders in attendance? Is there a wow factor in this? If your user or customer were in attendance, would they be thrilled or would they be bored, right? Is their cognitive load going to be completely messed up because you're bouncing all over the application and they have no idea if they're on the front end of the application, the back end of the application, if they're somewhere deep in the middle, right? Help them by navigating through it. That's going to generate feedback. If your demos don't generate feedback, something is broken. Something lacks excitement if you're not generating feedback. My biggest tip is to follow the user's journey through the application or system or workflow. Follow that journey when you actually conduct these major system demos. Put it in the context of the person that is going to be receiving this information. The second thing here is make sure you're doing data-driven insights. What is the narrative? Are we measuring the right things? Are we asking questions about the metrics, identifying positive and negative trends, doing true inspection? Are we doing that? Are we using this data to implement corrective actions, right? Actually using not vanity metrics, but actually actionable metrics that can lead to adaption. How and why real lean agile metrics make all the difference in your success and your ability to change. So data-driven insights. And then mix it up to identify systemic issues. Doing Ishikawa fishbone diagrams and 5 whys is hard, and it can be confusing and challenging, and people can get stuck. But you don't have to just use those techniques. Much like we encourage Scrum teams and Agile teams to mix up how they do retrospectives, you can do the same thing with the inspect and adapt. Draw me a picture of how you think this went, right? Was it a Rube Goldberg machine, like a total mess? Or was it sunshine and daisies and daydreams, right? What was it like? Draw me a picture. Be creative about how we surface problems, right? We want to explore these different ways to identify problems. Step through the problem using different techniques, in order to identify what is the most important problem we need to solve. Use different techniques to identify those. You could play Shark Tank to say, what is the problem we should invest in? What should we invest time in? Do those types of things. And of course, actionable outcomes. Don't inspect and forget, right? That is the key to all this. Is action items need owners, they need a champion, and they need to be in the next PI planning backlog. And they need to be presented on equal playing ground with business features, technology enablers. All of these items that came through these experiments, these actionable takeaways, need to be part of that actual next PI's planning. They need to be made visible. I should see features and user stories in backlogs that talk about these things. What are we going to do as an art, as teams, to get better in these particular areas? This was the takeaway. We need to set aside time for it and make sure that we're doing the things to make things better. And so that's my biggest tips. Kind of went through that in a whirlwind fashion, but I'll have time for questions a little bit later.